Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me and see me. So the first thing I need to do is share the link to the video in 3 different places. So one is on Instagram. Okay. One is on Facebook. That's done. One's on Instagram. That's done. And there is another Bitcoin group. Wow. There's another Bitcoin group that I'm a part of that I also am going to share. It is called Level 0 Group, and that just means that they are at the level 0 of learning Bitcoin. So it's a new group. It's for new people to Bitcoin, and I just need to post the link. Wait a second. Holy cow, there's a group and there's a page. That's so weird. I thought the page and the group were the same thing, but it's not. All right, I posted the link there, and I posted a link everywhere it needs to go. I will check on the group and page later. Actually, the group, I probably should post in the group 0, just in case anyone there wants to join. Okay. That's the housekeeping announcements. So we're going to get started. I may have to cut some of the extra footage out to make it look better. So I'm going to get started, and thanks everybody who is watching. And I chose YouTube because I've done videos on Facebook, I've done videos on Instagram, a few other platforms, and I believe with YouTube, you don't have to have an account and you can just watch the videos from any web browser. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll just be on YouTube and then post the links to other sites so the people on the different platforms can join the video. I think if you want to leave a comment, I think you have to have a Google account or a YouTube account in order to leave a comment. So people might be able to watch the video but not leave a comment. I highly encourage people to leave a comment, leave a questions, and leave feedback on what you think of the video, and that will determine if more of these videos are made. The other thing I wanted to point out is that I was thinking at some point of maybe having a page or a channel for introduction to Bitcoin videos, and I just want to get feedback to see what you guys think. So if you like the comment or you like the content, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. And I'll just, based on the feedback, is how I'll determine what happens with the next video. So the title of this one is called The Bitcoin Ecosystem. And what I did was I made a whole list of topics, and those are lists of topics that I want to talk about. But if there's questions that you have or topics you want me to talk about, then those will probably take priority, because I want to be able to get information out to all the users, and it may be more important than what I have planned on saying. So I wanted to give an introduction to the video series, and then an introduction to anyone that doesn't know me, and then an introduction to Bitcoin. I'm having a Dr. Pepper. So all of you should go grab your favorite drink, whether it's a beer or a soda or a pop or whatever you call it. And we're just going to hang out for maybe an hour or so. Just go through what's been happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Okay. So let's get started, shall we? So up on the screen right now, you will see the current price of Bitcoin. And no, that's not a mistake. Each Bitcoin really is worth $23,000. And if you're like me, you may be thinking, why the hell would anyone pay $23,000 for, like, what do you get? There's nothing there. And it's true. There's no physical object there. So new people and anyone that's human, basically, when you first think about Bitcoin, you're like, it's just numbers. It's just a piece of software somewhere just collecting ones and zeros. And yes, that's true, but it's actually a whole lot more than that. But I get where people are coming from. It kind of is just ones and zeros. And the thing is that you start to look into Bitcoin, and then you start to ask more and more questions. And one of the questions is, what is money, right? When I was first learning Bitcoin, it took about I don't know, the first like 3 subjects. It's like, what is it? How does it work? And then it's a financial transaction system, but what is, like, it's money, right? And yeah, it's a currency. It's a global currency that exists on the internet. So then you may ask yourself, what is money? So is Bitcoin money? And a lot of financial people that think they know everything would probably say, no, it's not money. But what I found out is money actually has properties. And I came across this a long time ago, and it'll say, well, what are the 4 characteristics? What are the 5 characteristics? And I think there's 10. So durability, portability, divisibility. Can you even see that? Portability, divisibility, uniformity, limited supply, and acceptability. So each of those words you can look up, and when you apply it to the US dollar, you say, yeah, I guess that's money. Like people accept it. So the same thing you say about the US dollar can be said about Bitcoin, believe it or not. And the latest thing was I've been seeing where financial experts have started saying, well, there's no intrinsic value. That's their latest thing, is that it's like they grasp at straws to try and downplay Bitcoin, and all their arguments fall by the wayside because they don't know what they're talking about. They haven't actually learned what Bitcoin is. They think they know. They think they know it's an internet money. It's money that's out on the internet that only a few people have. And the truth is that it is a global money system that not only are people using it, like a lot of people, like millions of people, but now there are very large companies that are buying up huge amounts of money. And the latest is MassMutual. MassMutual has bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin. So this website here, Preve.com, I use a lot. So here is $100 million. So they bought 4,300 Bitcoins. They bought 4,300 Bitcoins. And that's a lot of money. So MassMutual had $100 million sitting around, and they said, we want to buy Bitcoin. How much should we get? Hey, let's buy 4,300. Like people don't buy that much on a normal basis. I saw somebody, hold on, I want to write that down. 4,300, because I was going to look at how many Bitcoins that was. There was Logic, the rap artist Logic. He bought 6 Bitcoin. He still spent $150,000 on this internet money that not that many people know about, but actually right now, 2020, if you ask somebody like, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? And they'll think for a minute and they'll be like, oh, is that internet money that is on the news? So people are hearing about it because 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I would ask people, hey, have you heard of Bitcoin? And they'll be like, Bitcoin? No. I even went to Walmart and I asked the lady, do you accept Bitcoin? She's like, yeah, we accept coins. And I'm like, coins? She's like, yeah, like any kind of coins you have. Like it was so disconnected from her that the word itself automatically attached to like US dollar coins, which was not what I was talking about. But sorry, I got a message from a friend of mine, and actually, sorry. So 5 years ago, a lot of people, very few had heard about Bitcoin, and there were news sites that didn't even the Bitcoin news was only on a few different websites, like CoinDesk is one of them. So CoinDesk is a website that has Bitcoin related news. So there's certain news sites that are dedicated only to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency news. So, but now sites like CNBC, they actually, there was just an article, and don't know where it went now. Here, Bitcoin's Wild Week. So this is a front page of CNBC. So yeah, that's just some of the latest news about Bitcoin and what's happening. So a lot of people have started to pay attention to it because for a long time it was below $20,000. And so once it hit $20,000, then it caught a lot of people's attention. It's been below 20,000 for a really long time, and I've actually been tracking it, the history of Bitcoin, and it's only gotten over 20,000 one other time. And ironically, it was 3 years ago yesterday, December 17th, 2017. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Can I zoom in? Okay. So 3 years ago, it went to 20,000, and it was only there a very short amount of time. And I was tracking, I've been tracking like the dips and the corrections to the price. So it was at $1,800 in July, and it gained $18,000 at the end of 2017, which is insane. So in July of 2017, if you ever get a time machine, go back to July 2017. You can buy a whole Bitcoin. Can you even see that? $1,800. But before that, so it was like 2,600, 2,900. So it was that much, and then it dips down to $1,800. So people are like, oh, it's going to go to zero, like it's not worth anything. So some people that had bought in, they sold it. They're like, it's going to go to zero, it's not worth anything. But little did they know, it shot all the way up. So 2018 was a pretty rough year for anyone that bought into Bitcoin, especially the people that bought after 19,000 As it got to 20,000, there were some people that didn't know a lot about it that just thought for some reason it was just going to keep going up. It's going to go up to 30,000. So I'm going to buy it at 19,000. I'll make $10,000 and then I'll sell it. Well, what happened was it started crashing, obviously. So within 11 days, 13 days, it dropped over $6,000. And a lot of people are mad. It's like if you put $20 in the bank and then you waited like 2 weeks and then you went into the bank and your $20 was only $13, you would be kind of upset. You'd say to the bank, what the heck? Where's my other $6 or $7? And the bank they might say something like, well, it's really volatile and the value of your dollar just dropped. So people would be like, what the hell? So what I'm seeing now is I see a lot of similarities. So in July, it was still at 12,000. So let's say April, 4,900, like $5,000. So it went from 5,000, it went up to 12, 13,000. Then it went back down 7,000. So September, October, it was right around $7,000. So it was below 10,000. So some people thought it was going down. Other people, very bullish on it. They thought it was going up to 10,000, up to 20,000. They were right. And it did. It went up to 10,000 in 1 month. And then it dipped, what I call a dip. It dropped $3,300 in 2 months. Awesome. Actually, not awesome, but if you follow the price, if there's a dip and you buy the dip, a lot of times on Twitter, I post the hashtag buy the dip because this is what I'm talking about. It dips down a couple $1,000s, you buy it on sale. And then if it decides to go up to $23,000, you're going to make yourself a profit. So 2020, it starts rising from 6,000 and now we're in December. It hit 20,000. It's basically the last 3 or 4 days, it's been going up almost $1,000 a day, which is crazy. And now today's the 18th. So I'm going to put 23,000 for the 18th. This is me tracking the Bitcoin price. I've been doing it for a while. So for the new people, I post this website for the new people. Let me make the font a little bit bigger. Preev.com. And the reason why I like this website so much is because in the beginning, I had a hard time understanding the relationship between a Bitcoin and US dollars. So they're both currencies. There's some similarities and there's some differences. So the similarities are the properties of money. The difference is US dollar is based on the United States of America, the US government, the Federal Reserve. Bitcoin is not controlled by anyone. It exists on the internet and there's nothing physical. It's all digital. So I found this website and I thought it was amazing for a few different reasons. One is you can start to relate the similarities and differences based on what you see on this website. Another thing that I like about this, you're going to see it flash every 5 seconds. It has a connection out to the exchanges and all the places that tell you what the price of it is, and it will update as the exchanges update. And you can actually, you can add, or you can click on different exchanges as the source of information. It starts with Bitstamp and Kraken as the source of information. So if you don't like that, you want a different one, you can pick a different one. I also like that it has, if you're from a different country, like Canada, you can switch to a different currency for the different countries. So that's pretty cool. It also has a couple different cryptocurrencies. So if you're just starting out, I would encourage you to learn Bitcoin first, but there are other cryptocurrencies like Litecoin, and a site that I go to a lot is coinmarketcap.com. I'm going to post these in the description of the video on YouTube once this is done. CoinMarketCap has all of the different cryptocurrencies that are out there. Last time I checked, there were like 6,000. There's a lot. There used to be 500, then 1,000, then 4,000, 5,000. There may be 6,000 or 7,000 by now. By the time you watch this video, there might be 10,000. I don't know. And that's only the ones that are listed. There's a lot that aren't even listed. So one thing I like is that in the search bar, one of the projects I like is Factom. If you hear about a cryptocurrency, you can search for it here, and it will tell you the rank. So I usually tell people to stay in the top 100, but actually Factom is a legit project that I believe in. It is 552. They used to be in the top 25, and the meetup group I was part of actually had a presentation by the CEO of Factom. So I've been following it for a long time, and I like what they're doing. So I go out and I check on Factom pretty often. But it's important that if somebody's talking about a cryptocurrency, you find out if they're legit or not. And one of the first things you can do is go to CoinMarketCap, because they will only list legit projects. And actually, they also list non-legit projects. So just because they're on this website doesn't mean you should believe that it's a legit project. So I want to check on something really fast just to see if there's other people that might be joining. Okay. Okay, we're good. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to. I'm going live on YouTube. It'd be nice to be live on Instagram and a few other platforms, but I'm just gonna go with YouTube. So I've kind of been jumping around a little bit. So I was gonna check and see if there's any questions that anyone has about Bitcoin, and we don't have any questions yet. So I'm just gonna look over the list of topics. If you're a new user to Bitcoin, one of the questions I see a lot is, they say, well, where can I go to learn about Bitcoin? So one place is bitcoin.org, and there is a place for resources of how to learn, learning resources. So I'm going to add that. The other thing is I have my own website, and I have a URL that I will put on here, btc2020.com/learn, and it actually redirects to a Bitcoin 101 series on, it's my own website. So I started a 10-part introduction to Bitcoin, and actually, so each one is a different blog post, and I tried to keep it pretty simple just to give everybody an introduction to the different topics. So I'll put these links out on the in the description of the video. I'll add all of these links. There's a couple different resources. One other website is one for a meetup group that I was in when I lived in Iowa, and there is it's a meetup group that I was a part of, and there is free resources, and I will also put this. So I don't mean to overwhelm everybody with so many links, but from here, it's a lot of reading and a lot of information for you to follow. These are all links to different websites, YouTube videos. So if you see something you're interested in and want to learn about, then it'll be there'll be a link to it on this website. So that will be in the description of the video. I will add all of these different websites for you to look at. Okay, so one thing I want to do, I want to show you the Bitcoin peer-to-peer network and the software, because I love this stuff. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to start the software that I have installed for Bitcoin. Now this is a full node. This is not mining. It might look like Bitcoin mining. It's not mining. So I'm not getting any Bitcoin by running this. I don't get anything for running this. There are benefits for me running this software, but it's not what you think. It's for, it's kind of getting off topic, but one thing it does is it makes the network more secure, the more valid nodes that are running. It allows the blockchain data to move easier and faster by having my computer as part of the network. So there's a lot of value for me running it. And the other thing is I just think it's really cool. So that's why I do it. So there are benefits. There's no monetary benefit, but it's something I like to do. So that's why I run it. So here, number of blocks left, 145. And I can't make that any bigger. I'm really sorry. But what it's doing right now is I am connected to other people's computers running the Bitcoin software. And those are called my peers. So right now I have 3 peers at these IP addresses, which you probably can't see very well. But since I'm connected to them, it's allowing me to get updates of the blockchain from the software they're running on their computer. So, as you can see, this window cleared out all the information that it was updating. That's the first thing that happens when you run a full node, is it connects to other people that have a copy of the blockchain, and it gets all the updated data from the blockchain. Now there is a copy of the blockchain on every computer that's either a full node or a miner. And these people, they're either a full node or a miner. And actually, I don't even know if there are miners on here, if these are just full nodes or if they are miners and full nodes. I'm not even sure. There's things about Bitcoin that I've been learning about it for over 7 years, and I still don't understand it. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to understand all of it. So if there's something I don't know, I'm just going to tell you guys that I don't know the answer to it. Okay. So let me pull this up. All right, look at all these. Look at all these guys. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am connected to 9 computers. My computer is connected to 9 other computers. So what is happening right now, I am up to the latest information about the blockchain. So get what is it? Latest get blockchain info. So they have a command line. Hold on. They have a command line, a console in this software that you can query data about the Bitcoin blockchain, which I think is pretty cool. It's kind of, I work in IT, so that's kind of the nerdy IT side of it. And the latest block is 661974. So I'm going to put this block is latest block. So what I'm going to do is pull up, this website here, bitcoin.org. If you want to run a full node, you can go here and download it. It's free and it's pretty cool. But if you do that, then it takes up a lot of resources. I have a gaming PC, so I have a good graphics card and processor and all that. So my computer can run it with no problem. So the other website I go to is blockchain.com, and go to Explorer, and I will put this in the description. Actually, can I put this? Yes. So if you want to see the blockchain, you can go to blockchain.com/explore. And if you scroll down a little bit, there are blocks, latest blocks, and latest transactions. So the blocks are here, 661,974, and that also matches 661,974 from our Bitcoin software when we wanted to know what was the latest block ID number. So six minutes ago, this block was mined by a miner, which I can't even get into right now, but that is the latest block that is on the blockchain. It's confirmed on the blockchain. If you click on the height, it'll take you into it. It'll give you all this information about the block. The block reward, 6.25. The miner received that reward. So you can go and look at the blockchain all you want. There is all these transactions are included in the blockchain. So this transaction had $349,000, which is crazy. That's a lot of money to me, $300,000. So another really great website. So I also added that. That will be in the description. Okay, so the history of Bitcoin, I don't even have time to get into it right now. I might make a separate video about that. How to buy Bitcoin. So, wow, there's a lot of other stuff I'm not even going to get time to. I'm going to talk about 1, 2, 3. I'm going to talk about 3 things, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up after that. So, how to buy Bitcoin. It used to be where you would just go to Coinbase. And Coinbase is an American company that is pretty popular with a lot of people. They have a wallet that you can log into. Let me show you. I used to use Coinbase a lot. This was my main site for buying Bitcoin. I have moved away from Coinbase. Now, I suggest PayPal and Cash App. So my recommendation is using either PayPal or Cash App. They both have somewhat low fees and pretty easy interface for new users. So I like both of them. PayPal has just recently started doing it. Cash App has been, you can buy Bitcoin at Cash App for probably about a year, I think. About a year ago they started. So there are a lot of different places you can buy it, but those are the 2 that I recommend. And I don't recommend Coinbase anymore. Okay, next, once you buy it, once you buy your Bitcoin, I suggest getting an app like Jaxx Liberty. So I have this app on my phone and I send my Bitcoin to my Jaxx Liberty wallet if it's short-term storage. And then I have a Ledger Nano S as a hardware wallet for long-term storage. So I recommend that if you buy it, you should move your Bitcoin to a more secure wallet. If you buy it on PayPal and then PayPal for whatever reason, goes bankrupt and goes offline, if you can't get into PayPal, your Bitcoin is gone forever. Not saying that PayPal would do that, but it's just important for me to point out that it's important to have it in a safe place. So that's what I would recommend. All right, there's two more things I want to talk about in this video, and then I'm going to wrap it up for today. The first thing is the crash. So I need to take you to the Bitcoin chart. And here is what happened with Bitcoin. So if you click on what's happened in 1 year, I want to go back to 2017 or 2018. So at the beginning, near the end of 2017, you can see this chart and it shoots way up. It went up to 16,000, started to crash. It went up even more to 19 and eventually $20,000. Okay? And then you can see what happens after that. It starts going down. And then the rest of the year, January to September, you can see it's going down. So by July of 2018, it was $6,300 from $20,000. So what I'm saying is people might start talking about Bitcoin crashing and Bitcoin dying. This is what we in the business call a dip. Because if you pull up the chart for the whole thing, here is 20,000, 19,000. You're going to see the crash, right? But then it goes up 13,000 in July of 19. So it dips, it goes up, it dips again, doesn't go up as far. It dips, and now it's climbing again. So right now, it's $23,000. You see the chart, right? You see how it's way up high. Is it going to keep going to 30,000 and 40,000? Maybe yes. Is it going to crash down to 5,000? Maybe yes. I don't know the answer to that. And there's a lot of people out there that think they know, and they want to sell you, come join my club and it's just $20 to join my club and all that. I'm not charging any money. All this is free on YouTube. I'm just worried about the new users out there that are going to get bad information. So I want to come on here and give what I think is good information to counteract all the bad information and all the scams that are out there. There's going to be a ton of scams, and you need to find someone trustworthy that you can contact to talk about these things. So I don't know if I should, but I'm going to put my email in the link to the description. Actually, no, I'm not going to. But if you look at my email here, pause the video really quickly. I'm going to take it off of here, but pause the video, write it down, shoot me an email. I can't post my email on the internet or I'm going to get absolutely slammed, but you can rewind this video, pause it, write my email down. I've been in Bitcoin since technically 2011, but I first started putting money in it in 2013. So it took me 2 years before I even put real money into this because I thought it was a scam. So shoot me an email if there's something you don't know about. I will try to write everybody back with accurate information. But I wanted to talk about the possible crash because I want to show you the chart because it's done that before. So it's probably going to happen again at some point. So I just want to try and tell everybody a heads up. Don't go putting a bunch of money and then it starts to crash and you start to lose money. I just want to give you a heads up that that could happen. Will it keep going up and not crash? Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know that. And I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this is financial advice. Okay, the very last thing I'm going to tell you is people ask me, why is the price going up right now and it's going so high? And there's a bunch of reasons for it. One is what I showed you earlier. If you Google Mass Mutual Bitcoin and click on news, they bought 100 million, and they've bought millions of dollars before in Bitcoin. So you're going to see a lot of really big names like Mike Novogratz, like JP Morgan, and like Bloomberg is a huge financial news website. They're talking about Bitcoin. So it used to be 5-10 years ago, Bitcoin was a joke. And now you have huge financial companies putting huge amounts of money into Bitcoin, and they're talking about it being a hedge. And the reason they say it's a hedge is because the dollar is weak. I don't know a lot about the financial markets, but the stock market doesn't seem to be doing a lot. It's rebounding from the coronavirus, but people are looking for other financial instruments, and now people see Bitcoin as a legit currency, commodity, whatever you want to call it, but they know that they can put money in Bitcoin and there's a chance that they can gain value out of it. Now, what they might do is, let's bring up the 3-month chart. That doesn't work. 1 year. So right now, like it started at $4,000 in March, right around the coronavirus. So people are putting money into it and it's gaining $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $23,000. So before it was like they were talking about retail investors, people would put money in and then they take it out, and part of the crash is everybody taking it out of it. Well, the people putting money into it now, there's a lot of them that may not take it out. If it starts to crash, they might. And if it starts to crash down, that means that a ton of people that put their money in, they want it back out. And that's fine, but they might be taking it out to buy back in when it's lower. So I don't think it's ever going to get below $5,000 again, and it may not even get below 10,000. But I don't know that, but that's just based on all the data that I've been looking at for years. So anyway, the video is about an hour, and there's a lot more I could talk about, but I want to wrap it up. I just wanted to tell you guys about the latest news that was happening, what's going on around the Bitcoin ecosystem, and just thanks a lot for watching my video, guys. If you like my content, make sure you hit subscribe, and please like the video and share it on social media. So I may be doing more of these soon. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you liked my content, or if there's something you either didn't understand about my video or something you didn't like. So with that, I'll wrap it up. Thanks a lot for viewing.